Hi and welcome to Scott's Inverts. I'm Scott. There's some inverts on the channel. Remember to hit the subscription button if you haven't already. Now I went on Amazon, I was looking for some tools for work, and instead of pressing the buy on those, I actually pressed buy, add to basket, deliver to house and all the rest of it, and actual coffin. Now this isn't something that I normally buy, but I was just flicking through Amazon, I'd seen it and I thought, you know what? You've looked at recent search histories and you've popped this up for me. So let me go and get it and show you exactly what this coffin is all about. One coffin in a very small box. We'll pick that up later because otherwise the enemy will absolutely batter me. Now this is classed as a jumping spider or tarantula enclosure. It was actually from a company which I found out after a boy called High Tech Ants. Came the next day, delivery from Amazon as you'd expect. And here we have it, which is wrapped up quite well. And what is quite striking for me is just how deep that enclosure actually is. Now we are going to set it up, probably not in the way that you lot are thinking either. It comes in this cellophane which I'm just taking off now. But look, how cool is that? Now, everybody kind of sets these things up this way. I'm going to set it up that way, but before we get there, I just want to check out the build quality, have a look at those magnets, and make sure this is up to scratch before I think about putting one of our animals in it. So, ooh, that's not too bad. It's quite thick. Acrylic looks to be what, 4 or 5 mil. The magnets are very, very strong. That is pretty good. We've got air holes coming all the way down the sides. So what that means is we could actually go up to this point with substrate if we had it arboreally, or even up to this point if we were going terrestrial. For soil, you would have to put quite a sling basically in here until it molted a few times and then rehouse it. In fact, majority of the tarantulas we've got are going to need rehousing from this. But how cool does that look? We have got a tape measure, and for everybody out there, that is 6 inches. Tell me I'm lying. So we shall measure the height. The height is 6 inches. At its widest part, we have 3 inches, and we have 1.5 inches at the top and 1.5 inches at the bottom. Now the depth, going from there to the back, we have 3 inches all the way around, which is not bad for slings, larger slings. When I say larger slings, some spiders grow bigger than others, hence, you know, some larger slings for some species will not fit in here. But anything up to around 1/2 inch in leg span is going to be completely fine in there. And what we say by 1/2 inch is literally kind of that size. So half of that area, you'll be absolutely fine. You can go arboreal with this by taking that off, putting some soil in there, some moss in there, and putting your arboreal piece in there. The only thing that I'm not too happy about with this enclosure is this area. This, to me, if it was to here, to the very edge, without the lip, it's kind of very fiddly to get things in and out, and possible escapee area. But the actual build quality of this is very, very impressive. Very impressive. Come a bit closer and I'll show you why. The whole of this piece here is one section. That is a one piece. Now a lot of the cheaper ones, you see this being a section, it's glued there and it's glued there and then it's glued here. This one, it goes all the way around, and this back piece, kind of the black part, clips into the back, clips into there, and then that's glued in place. Now what we are going to do is just give it a little bit of a push around. That is very good quality. And for 20 quid, I'd expect it to be good quality, to be honest. When I bought it in a clip bar, I had to double check it wasn't the one, because I don't like the ones that you put together and then you've got the little elastic bands here, there and everywhere. Can't be bothered with that. I do like it when there are one kind of bit more posh like this without those elastic bands on the outside. But like I said, this isn't something that I'd usually go for. I just seen it there and thought, do you know what? Let's go for it. Now in 2025, I want to express a bit more of my personality on the channel, and I love having a laugh, having a bit of fun, and that's what we're going to do with this enclosure. So we're going to set it up, and then afterwards we're going to bring you back to here and tell you exactly why we've set it up in the way that we have. So we have our coffin enclosure, and we're going to fill it up with a millipede type of a substrate, one that'll hold a little bit of moisture, as well as if we end up getting isopods or millipedes, will also be a food for those guys. And when we put the springtails in, it's perfect environment for those guys to breed in as well. We're going to go just over a quarter of the way up, almost half of the way up of this enclosure with that substrate in there. And there it is. And just at the side, show you guys that we're just below those air holes. So we'll have a little bit of airflow going across the top of the surface of that substrate. I found a little seed pod, so I cracked it into a quarter, and that's what we can use as a hide. Small little hide for a small little coffin enclosure. Absolutely awesome. Now if I finally move my big hands out of the way, you'll be able to see exactly where we've positioned that hide, which is right down the top, or what would be the top if it was stood up, if you get me. And down the other end, we're going to put the all important water dish. We're going in with some crushed leaf litter just to give it that like forest floor kind of a feel. And we found some nice old lichen, so we're going to put that down one end. I end up actually off camera adding a little bit extra just to kind of break up the edge or the side of that little house that we've got there for all our invert. Milk bottle top, perfect for the water dish. Absolutely cracking. Absolutely love the water dishes when it comes to these little milk bottles tops. If you drink milk like us guys, we end up having absolutely loads of them. And there's the lid. Now the lid will gain fingerprints, so get your microfiber cloths at the ready. So like I said at the start of this video, we're having a little bit of fun in 2025, as well as bringing you some educational content, show content and other stuff. But this is the actual enclosure. Now what's going in this? Well, this Sunday we are going to the Southeast Arachnid show. Me and the enemy, we're going to be working on the creatures from the North Stand. Now at that show is going to be tons of spiders, scorpions, millipedes, true spiders and a whole host of other inverts. So, I'm just gonna dread saying this, aren't I? So the idea is, if you comment in the comments down below what you would like to see go in here, the one with the most likes is exactly what we're going to seize, and exactly the one that will pick up and go in here. If it's a specific spider or tarantula, we'll look for one that's appropriately sized, so that might be a very small sling to go into the coffin enclosure. Could be a true spider, scorpling, anything along those lines. The best comment, the most liked comment is exactly what we'll go and get. Now, if any of you say curly hair, and if any of you like that comment, I will block the lot of you. I swear, we have enough curly hairs. We have enough of those in the invert shed out back. True form and hobby form, but anything other than a curly hair will be absolutely awesome. So having a little bit of fun with 2025, you decide what goes in this enclosure. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate each and every one of you. Now remember, be subscribed. We have giveaways, we have all sorts of things coming out in 2025, as well as a whole host of more exciting content for you. And as always, I do like the coffin. See you again on the next one.